Alrighty, this is going to be the 5-minute code for 11a utilizing list, a little bit more of a detailed component. And first of all, the template is going to be slightly different, because what I end up doing with this particular template is that we have a message over here, which are going to be our header messages, and there's only one type of message right there, because we are now substituting and getting rid of all the extra messages by utilizing functions now. So these are going to be my message headers. So right now when I run the code, what will display is basically the different parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3, which corresponds to the different parts that we're going to be looking at the code. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the different parts here and what we need to do. So part 1, we're going to create a list in the variable section. So coming up here, we're going to create a new list over here, and that list is going to consist of values of red, green, and blue. We're going to create a new function. So coming down below over here, this is where we're going to create our new function for my colors. And then we're going to basically print the list. We're going to print the list utilizing an F string, print the data type, and then print how many items are going to be in that particular list. All right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the list of colors. So we'll come over here to the variable section and add our list of colors. Remember that our lists are going to be in the square brackets. And now we're going to navigate down to create a new function called myColors. So right below here, and this is where I'm going to create my new function, and this is going to be myColors. We want to then print the list utilizing an F string, and that would look something like this: print, and then we have the list of colors. Next thing we want to do is print the data type. So we're identifying data type with this particular string. And then our last one is we're going to print how many items are in the list by utilizing the len function of it. And then when we run the code, as you see, nothing happened here because we need to do one more step. And down below here is we're going to create additional functions to call, and this one here we're going to basically call myColors. So now when we run the code, as you can see, part 1, here's the list of colors: red, green, and blue, data type, and then there are 3 items in the list. Alright, so that was part 1. For part 2, we're going to create another function, and we are going to display the second item, create a print statement displaying the last item. We're going to add the color black, insert another color in position 2, extend the color with pink and orange, and then we're going to print the list again with a F string. And this is where we'll basically add our new colors function here, and we'll start out with defining the function, which this is going to be our statement. Next thing we're going to do is print the second item, and that will look like this. So now we're utilizing the syntax here of colors, right, because that's our variable, and this is going to be our element ID, which is going to be 1. So as we look at it there, this should print the green one if we run the code right now. And let's go ahead and run it. Oh, it didn't work because we need to come back over here and add the call function for colors. Now when we run it, the second item right now is green. Now that may change when we add some additional parameters here. Next we're going to do is create a print statement to print the last item, and that would look something like this. So we're able to utilize the -1 value, because what's going to happen then is going to start from this end versus this end. So now when we run it, it should be blue, which it is. And then what we're going to do is we're going to append a color, and that syntax is going to be this. We're going to utilize the keyword append for the list. Append black. Next one, we're going to insert yellow, and here is our syntax to insert a yellow, but we're looking at position 2. And the last thing we're going to do is extend the color list with pink and orange, and here is the other parameter here called extend, a pink and orange. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to print the updated list of colors. Let me get rid of these extra lines here. Now when we run the code, as you can see, we have item which is green and blue. We're updating the list. So this is our updated list after we performed these particular components there. And now it's red, green, yellow, because we inserted that one, blue, black, and then pink and orange. So that was for part 2. And then for part 3, what we're going to do is we're going to delete items from the list, and that is going to look like this. So for part 3, we're going to create a separate function here. So we are going to come here and identify our function called myColorsDelete. And in part 3, so we're going to remove color pink, we're going to pop blue. So here is going to be our component to remove the word pink in the list. We're going to utilize pop3, which is going to remove line item 3 or element number 3. And then we're going to come back here and print the list. And then we're going to come back here for another print statement. We're going to do an index of 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be our slicing method. And then we need to come back here this time. We'll remember to then add the function for it to delete. Then when we come back here and run the code, we've completed part 3. The updated list is red, green, yellow, black, and orange, because we end up removing pink and blue by utilizing those particular commands. And then here are the colors from 1 to 2. Remember, we're slicing, so we're not including the last value there. So if you recall, this is going to be 0, 1, and 2. We set an index to print basically from 1 to 3. So it ended up printing green and yellow, and it stops at 1 short from the 3. So if we go back and look at the code, so from colors 1 to 2, you can see what the syntax was right here. Okay, and that it is it for this particular lab.